I'm in this awesome Airbnb in Bogota. I will give you a tour of it later, but first I want to tell you about my flight experience with Spirit. I've flown on them a few times before. They've been okay. This time I have my problems more with the flight cancellation and how their agents responded to that, so I'm going to fill you in here. I was booked on a flight from departing at 7:55 p.m. from MCO Orlando to Bogota, Colombia on Monday, February the 18th. That flight was delayed and eventually canceled by 6 p.m. due to maintenance issues on the aircraft. I don't know what those maintenance issues were, other than the aircraft was not able to be used. Hey, we've all had a car to break down on us at some point in our life, and it's never at a good time. And the same is true with aircraft. I totally get that this is expected to happen from time to time with any airline. Sure, it's inconvenient for us passengers, but I understand that this is unpredictable and unpreventable. I had 2 meetings in Bogota, and it was imperative that I get here as soon as possible. So after waiting in line for 30 minutes at the Spirit customer service counter, I had 2 agents assisting me. I had already been joking with these agents earlier. I realize their job is tough when passengers are upset and don't actually think about what they say and get mad at that agent who wasn't even at fault for the issue. I see this as an opportunity to be friendly with the agent and get them laughing, as they're the ones who may be able to work some extra magic for the person who is taking their mind off the last 5 grumpy patrons. I want to be that person. The 2 agents informed me I was booked on a 6:35 a.m. flight and that I would have to be at the airport 3 hours early. Wow. That's 3:35 a.m. They booked me a hotel for the night at a Holiday Inn. They gave me 3 $7 meal vouchers that can be used in the airport. This new flight was not a direct flight to Bogota either. It was a flight to Fort Lauderdale and then to Bogota, arriving in Bogota at 2:15. I paid extra for the big seat. Spirit has a thing called the big seat, which is really their version of first class. It isn't that expensive to get up there, and it just gives you a bigger seat for a longer flight. And this was going to be a 4-hour flight, so I have a seat 1D. So these new flights had me in seats 27D and 25D. Keep in mind, there's no compensation given back to me or offered to me at this point. I had already saw that there was a JetBlue flight departing for Bogota about the same time that the Spirit flight was originally supposed to depart. I asked the customer service agents about that flight. They immediately chimed back with, "That flight is already fully booked, and that's why we booked you on this early flight tomorrow." So I took my tickets and my vouchers and walked downstairs to get my bag off the carousel. It was just about an hour before that JetBlue flight was set to depart. I decided to whip out my phone and pull up the Skyscanner app, and sure enough, there were tons of seats available. So Spirit Airlines, your 2 customer service agents lied to me. That's unacceptable. Never lose sight that we are your customers and that you have a responsibility to be honest with us. After all, we have other choices and you have a reputation meant to maintain. I decided to walk to the JetBlue ticket counter to book this. With only 60 minutes to spare, Ivy, the JetBlue ticket agent, started booking my $194 last-minute ticket. This will become my first JetBlue flight ever. The JetBlue ticket includes a checked bag, just like it does with American, Delta, and United, unlike Spirit. My Spirit ticket was $299 by the time I added bags and everything else. JetBlue got me to Bogota on time, and the flight crew, Anna and Joe, were amazing. And one other thing. Ivy, put me in row 6C, up towards the front. I didn't even ask. Wasn't that awesome for a flight that Spirit said there were no seats available? Spirit Airlines and CEO Ted Christie, I expect you to make this right. I expect you to refund my ticket. We are already filming an episode of our Amazon Prime travel show, Places to Go, featuring Spirit Airlines on how to get to a tropical Caribbean beach for 2 for under $1,000. After your 2 agents lied, we will be including a comparison of JetBlue in this episode as well. Watch for it. Season 2 begins middle of May.